I've just seen something that was music to my ears. I've argued that there is no reason to put Nancy Pelosi in the speaker spot. No reason. They lost 1,100 seats under Nancy Pelosi. And no, all of that wasn't necessarily her fault. But if your goal is to rebrand the party, if your goal is to give this new idea, this new energy, a chance to flourish, you don't put the old dinosaur back in the seat. I mean, let's be honest. The majority of the Democrats are for Medicare for all. The majority of Democrats, not just Democrats, people in the country itself, 70%. The majority of the people are for expansion of Social Security. Majority of the people are for a $15 minimum wage. We're talking about the majority of people for education. I guess I'm making the point that these are things that are in the center of the country at this point, not on the fringe elements. Nancy Pelosi is a fringe character, the radical centrist. $100 million, Nancy Pelosi. Is that the person that you really want being the face and a representative of the party itself? And apparently, I have takers on this. I am not alone in this assessment. Take a look at this. This was music to my ears. Well, to my eyes, I should say. Nancy Pelosi's Democratic foes think they have the votes to block her. Don't count on the House Minority Leader just yet. Don't count out the House Minority Leader just yet. It may be a long shot, but they think they can stop Pelosi. I love the gumption. Nancy Pelosi's bid to become House Speaker again is running up against dueling realities. One reality is that she is the most capable Democrat in the House, confident of her party's gains were significant enough to propel her to speakership. And the other reality is that about 24 Democrats are prepared to block her from the spot. Neither scenario seems entirely right or wrong. I love that he says, look, neither is right or wrong. I don't know which one it is, essentially. Pelosi continues to express optimism, of course. Representative Seth Moulton, a Democrat from Massachusetts, told reporters Tuesday night that he was 100% confident that there were enough votes to block Pelosi. More than 20 during the Speaker floor vote. He said the anti-Pelosi members plan to release a letter demonstrating to Pelosi that she doesn't have the votes, at which point they expect other Democrats to step up to run for the speakership. I love that. Here's this letter, and we're going to serve her with this letter, essentially a letter of no confidence. And he expects Nancy Pelosi to wither in the face of this letter. I don't expect Nancy Pelosi to wither in the face of this letter, but let's keep going. I like his gumption. Moulton said that members led by less than a dozen existing representatives and some incoming Democrats who he have said won't support Pelosi are figuring out when to release the letter. We're going to see what makes the most sense, but we plan to do it before the caucus votes for its leaders behind closed doors at the end of November. To be Speaker, a Democrat would have to win that election among just Democrats in November, but he or she would also have to win the election among the full House on January 3rd. If current projections hold, Democrats look like they have a majority of 233 to 235 members out of 435 members, meaning Pelosi could lose 15 or 17 votes and still be elected Speaker. But the math is even more complicated and forgiving to Pelosi. If she could convince some Democrats to vote present, as two Democrat sources have told Huffington Post she is trying to do, she could lower the threshold to be Speaker to 218 and potentially secure the vote with less than an actual majority on the floor. Moulton said that no one in his group is interested in voting present. Imagine a candidate coming in and taking their first vote on the floor of the House of Representatives as present. He said, I love this gumption. He's like, nobody in their right mind is going to do this. They're going to make that first vote count. They're not going to make that vote of present. I love it. I love it. Moulton said he's been approached. He says he said he had a member approach him a couple of hours before the House votes Tuesday night about not supporting Pelosi. Yet another member came to him on the floor during votes. He thinks the numbers are quite stark for Pelosi. Now, this could just be talk. So, take it with a grain of salt. This could just be him popping lip. You'd have guys at the barbershop all the time. We used to have this guy called People's Champ. And we used to call him People's Champ, even though he couldn't beat nobody, couldn't beat him, play himself out of a wet paper bag, talking about standpoint of chess, but had the biggest mouth in the bunch. This guy could just be talking smack. Or he could have the votes that he said he has. Maybe there is a groundswell of people that have come to their senses and say, this radical centrist is not the person we want to represent us in the Democratic Party. We want somebody that can harken back to what we want to get across to the people that we are. Bold values, as opposed to just being completely reflexive to whatever Trump is. Vote her down. Vote her down. Apparently, I'm not the only one with that perspective. Welcome to the club. And I know I'm saying welcome to the club, but I know a lot of these people are already there, so I'll just see my way in. I like this idea of these guys voting her down. I like this idea of them trying to rebrand what they are. And yeah, man, I guess I make this point over and over again because ultimately where the public is not where she is. And if anything, you want to find somebody that is representative of the party itself. The actual party, meaning the people who vote. You get more bang for your buck. I'll leave it here. All right, guys. If you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support the Patreon. Thanks all. I'm catching a cold or something. I'm stopped up. But thanks all.